That was episode 2.
The Uninvited.
The Uninvited. The entire episode. Were you too?
God, no.
You're not allowed.
Just
Uninvited.
here, babe, what you did for the lighthouse, just have Alanis Morissette wailing in the background. Yeah. Now it's all I can think about. But it was not while we were watching it.
The whole episode. Oh, this show is so stupid.
I think stupid in a fun way.
Yeah. No, I'm laughing. I at least enjoyed this one.
Yeah, me too. It was fun. There were a lot of elements, a lot of stuff happened.
Yeah, a lot did happen. Well, we didn't really mention that not only are there 2 Sabrinas that, well, there might not be any more, but there's 2 Sabrinas that you can differentiate between their headbands. Because there's Sabrina Spellman, which is black headband.
Yeah.
And then there's Sabrina Morningstar, which is red headband.
And she is the Queen of Hell.
And I keep waiting for them to intentionally switch and fuck all of us all the way up.
Yeah.
Sabrina is one of those, like, best, worst characters.
Yeah.
Like, she's great, but she's also her own.
So I was not aware that no one knew there were 2 of them. Apparently no one knows, except for, like, Ambrose knows that there's 2 of them. But in this episode, it seems like everybody mostly knows now.
We have a lack of Lilith, which I noticed. I mean, we're only 2 episodes in, but when she showed up as Lilith, and it was like a jolt of energy. I was like, oh, right.
Michelle Gomez with that hair and that waistline. Ugh.
Because we still have Mary out there. And I guess she just, like, whole hog joined this cult. Like, not a second.
Yeah, no, really, like...
A second thought.
Not a second. Agatha was like, you should come to our church. And Mary was like, I am now the second in command.
Well, because she also introduced herself to Mary as Julie. But now they're just straight up... Blackwood is just calling her Agatha. So I don't know. Yeah. So we had the Uninvited. It's the second terror, the second Eldritch terror.
Yeah.
And interesting. He manifested as like a homeless man who was hungry, tired, and cold.
Yeah. And he also apparently smelled like garbage.
Yeah. And he just goes around ripping gigantic hearts out of people's chests. Yeah. They were too big.
Yeah, your heart is like the size of your... No, I think it's your whole hand.
Well, anyways.
But they were like overflowing.
It was like a steer heart out of that woman's body. Which was rude. And what happened to the daughter? Because the thing is, the woman wasn't rude. The woman was like, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Yeah. But I have this issue when, like, demons are mean in scary shows.
Well, it's the type of thing where it's like, well... She could have helped him is the thing. It's not, she said I can't.
It depends on knowing what universe you're in.
Sure.
Because if she does she know she's in a scary, sexy teen drama? No. Because if so, but also even if she knew she was in a scary, sexy teen drama, he could have been a gentleman or a serial killer or something. So it's like, it really...
A gentleman like from Buffy?
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
It's like not just a gentleman.
But to that logic, he could have been a prince. Like... Sure. I hate. Well, it's sort of. I feel bad for these characters.
Isn't that a Bible story where it's like you're supposed to just like give charity to everybody?
True Christianity and into Judaism is hospitality.
Yeah.
A person, I cannot remember how many days. Biblically, there is a number of days that a stranger is morally allowed to stay with you before you can ask them even why they're there. It is in the Bible, the rules.
That's too far.
The sin of Sodom and Gomorrah was inhospitality.
Right.
People think it was like sodomy, but it was, no, they were inhospitable.
Yeah. Interesting.
So again, what universe are we in? And so that frustrates me in a way that this show, the logistics of the good and evil of the show is my like... white whale. It's my real what do they call it? Well, not my white whale. I'm not chasing it, but it's like the bane of my existence.
So it is sort of like though it has sort of mellowed out since they stopped being the Church of Satan.
Sure.
Because now it's like Hecate based, and so it's like a lot more gentle. It's like it's different now. They stopped like what did they say? praise Satan all the time. They've stopped doing that.
But it's like
Hecate is a lot more palatable.
Yeah. But she said it like rapid fire like 3 times where she was like, Hecate be praised. And I was like,
it just does fall out like a ton of bricks.
But Kieran Shipka was doing a lot of mouth acting this episode. She did, what did you, a rictus?
Oh, called a rictus grin.
A rictus grin. She went on the 2 dates.
It's like your eyes aren't in it and you just are like.
It was like she grinned with like this part of her mouth.
Yeah.
Not this part of her mouth.
Yeah.
On her date with Melvin. And it took Will and I all the way out.
It was very funny.
Laugh out loud. And she did several more things kind of like with her mouth that was really funny. But basically they were trying to, well, Hilda's wedding buried the lead.
Yeah. That plus New Year's is why we have the champagne.
Hilda's wedding, yeah. Adored her wedding dress.
Her dress was so cute. It just
so appropriate.
Suits her perfectly. Her little hair was in a really cute thing, and she had a little half a flower crown. It was very cute.
Could you imagine waiting 165 years to get married and then leaving your wedding entirely up to teenagers? To the vanity and to the...
I have concerns about Hilda's state of mind. She just comes to the breakfast table and is like, Sabrina, do you think Harvey's band will play my reception? And I was like, Hilda.
It makes me think of the scene from the other two when he's on the date with the high school theater teacher.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, actually, our high school drama department was very good. And the teacher's like, I'm going to stop you right there. No high school drama department has ever been good in the history. He was like, you think you were, but you were not.
Yeah.
Although they sang Radio Gaga, which I'm really enjoying the deep cuts that this show pulls out. There a lot happened in this episode because there was also the Incubus. They like exorcised it from Dr. Cerberus and it went into Theo.
Yeah. And boy, did it.
Yeah, that was a lot. And then it like jumped around.
He like literally like shoved Robin up against the wall and was like, so fucking sexy. When
he was just sort of like.
It was very funny.
I like the like pop the button.
One button.
Yeah.
But it was very satisfying from a comedic standpoint. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
And then it like ping ponged around. What happened to I called him Cole. What was his actual name? Carl. He was just in that first scene and then just gone.
Well, there wasn't any more Baxter High in this episode, so I think we'll get more of him later. But both of her dates were bad, so I like.
Well, because Melvin got a little bit more, and he did admit that both Dorcas and Elspeth are dead. So that also just like bricks. Elspeth. It was sloppy in the way that a Sabrina episode tends to be, because when they turned away the uninvited from from the wedding and Will yells at the screen, you literally just had a meeting about this very topic.
Yeah.
Like,
but he got a makeover, so they didn't recognize him.
Well, okay, so I was a little irritated that didn't. This was an episode and a half, if you ask me. The whole like going to hell, that should have been next week.
Yeah,
because in my opinion, they should have defeated the uninvited 3 times over. Because when he ate the
the succubus.
The incubus.
Sorry, yeah.
That should have they fed him, so that should have done it. Then when Hilda invited him, that absolutely should have done it. And then I don't remember the third.
Instead, he ripped the still beating heart out of Dorian Gray, and he is dead. What the fuck? Jedediah Goodacre needs to put food on the table too, you guys. I'm furious.
It's unfortunate. The show has been.
Because are we losing that set now too? Because I love that set.
I mean, they'll just find a way to make it like Dr. C's or something.
I mean, I'm furious.
No, this show has been a blessing and a curse, because it's like we've gotten a lot of good out of it, but also there's been so much. They're just, believe me, I like these shorter seasons, and I'm a fan of a solid like 10 to 13 episode season. Some things I think are good with a tight 7 or 8, but there were so many characters that I'm like, ooh, like I just feel like we could have done more with Dorian Gray. Like I feel like or what was Ambrose's first boyfriend's name?
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
he was good.
There's just Luke.
Yeah, I think so. I think Luke is right.
There's just there's so much on the periphery that I'm like, I wish we could have spent time with some of these people.
Yeah.
And
plus, it was like, you're right. I feel like we barely scratched the surface with Dorian, and it's also like he's only been in like 6 episodes total, and I just feel like he could have been wrapped into the fold a little more. And
I mean, he had a decent run for what the show was, but it just sort of, I don't know.
But nobody even had an emotional reaction to his death. And I'm like, you've been presumably hanging out here daily for years.
I mean, he was kind of a shit, but...
Of course, he's Dorian Gray.
But no, I mean, I'm there with you. I just sort of, it gives with one and takes with the other. Yeah. And I could do with more interpersonal drama.
Oh, I see.
But like with everyone and not just the like same 5 characters having the same 5 interpersonal. Not just
like Sabrina.
Yeah.
And her nonsense.
So also, Sabrina Morningstar.
Yeah.
Got married to Caliban.
Only once he cut off his clay testicles first.
His gigantic.
They were like the size of a
softball sized, because he's carrying a box. Yeah. And I was like, please, dear God, let us see them.
It. Yeah.
And it was just 2 clay balls, but I'm talking like
honking.
Just like, I don't know how he doesn't limp when he walks. Like, it was an embarrassment of riches. Mm-hmm. I expected no less. I mean, when you're dealing with demonic cocks.
Sure. Well, he even was like just walking in the room and I was like, his dick is in that box. There's no way his dick is not in that box.
And also, Lucifer has morphed into like a sassy sitcom dad.
Like a Nathan Lane character.
Yeah. Like Modern Family.
Just like very weird.
I'm for it, but again, it's like it's just making me want more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can we like send Sabrina somewhere for like 5 episodes and then just have like the hell show? I don't know.
It's so funny because he is a completely different character
than what we first met.
Than how we met him.
It has been sort of a...
Well, and even the gayness didn't come out of nowhere, but he was like a flaming queen in this episode in a way that he has not been in the past.
Somebody paint a portrait because this queen's on fire.
For real. It was so funny. So funny.
So I also like that Sabrina Morningstar is a little bit unhinged.
She's sort of
like
a lunatic.
more so than Sabrina Spellman.
Like, I just love Caliban and we have to get married immediately. And Sabrina Spellman was like, "You're 16. We're both 16. He tried to kill us."
It gives me like slight Buffy bot vibes.
Sure,
where she's just a little bit like unhinged.
I'm just thinking of all the things she says now.
That's our biggest thing with this show is honestly, it can do whatever the fuck it wants to do. Just be fun.
Just be fun.
And if not fun, funny.
Yeah. And this one was fun and funny.
Yeah. So we'll see. We've got the weird next.
She does feel like a Lovecraftian squid octopus monster.
Okay.
What?
Well, I was like the weird sisters.
No. Dorcas as an octopus. Okay, that's my prediction.
It's so invited.
We'll see if that happens. Oh, Harvey and Roz did invite the uninvited in because Roz had a cunning about it.
Roz is finally like
being useful.
The number one, like My Girl Friday.
Yeah,
she's sorting some shit out.
Yeah,
and she quite literally fucked some sense into Harvey. So.
She would.
His whole like
ass in those jeans.
His whole drawing powers are so stupid.
Oh yeah, and
the way that they can't figure out what it like they have to really work it through what it could possibly mean.
And again, because they have to go to Ambrose to figure out what the drawings are of, and again, he is working in the morgue with the cat as his assistant.
Well, so we've complained about a lack of Salem in previous seasons, and
I do like more Salem.
Well, we're seeing him more, which is nice.
We are seeing a black cat on screen.
We're also hearing him more. I don't know why it's mixed. The button goes to 11 on the mixer. Is all I'm gonna say.
And Will's right. It does just sound like a human is going.
It's like it's a lot. So If we missed anything, if it's of any importance, we'll touch. Oh, the real wedding with the Halloween costumes was
so cute. Very cute, because he was Dracula and she was
the bride
of Frankenstein, though. And then Zelda was like the Wicked Witch.
It looked like Nicole Kidman from Practical Magic.
Sort of. It was greenish, though. There was like greenish in there somewhere.
She had like red. Yeah.
And then Sabrina was her comic book character, and Ambrose was the werewolf, the Wolfman, werewolf.
So, okay.
It was very good. Very good.
So we'll be back with episode 3, The Weird.
Woo woo.